Hey, what's up, James? Trying to get my YouTube to work. I'm trying to get it to where I can. There it is. So I can try to share it, but it wasn't wanting to work. I was like, wait a minute here. So I can just put this up in a couple of things. I'm not going to put it up in everything. Because since this isn't an actual episode, these are just impromptu matches. So we'll just put it up in a few groups. But glad to have you here, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're just gonna run through some matches here and have some fun. And that's basically about it tonight. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that. All right. Well, so we're gonna go ahead and do some matches again. Welcome, James. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brandon Pickett. We're just gonna run through some matches using the all women's roster, TCW Sirens. So we're gonna use the all custom roster. And so first off, we're gonna have a one-on-one match. Kick things off. If you guys want to be interactive, you guys can let me know what kind of match types you want to see, or if you happen to know some of the roster members that you possibly want to see too. If you don't know who's on the roster, by all means, let me know, and we can run through that later on in the show. But for now, let's go ahead. 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna have Laura Marcel by herself. Marcel. She's, French. Triple threat tag, or triple threat match. Okay, yeah, we can do that next. Hey, Chaos Reaper, welcome. All right, so we're gonna have Laura Marcel versus Alicia Silver. All right, so this will be it. Hey, Ricky, what's up, man? We're just doing some impromptu tonight. So, all right, so we're gonna do this first, and then we'll do James's triple threat match. Do you just want straight up triple threat? Do you want tables, ladders, TLC, Hell in a Cell, anything like that, or just a triple threat? Just let me know. We can get that done. Chaos Reaper, if there's a match type you want to see, let me know. I'm trying to stick away from the eliminations a little bit, you guys. We can do a few, but I don't want to do a whole bunch. Just a straight up triple threat. Alright, we can do that. We'll do that next. And then Ricky said, hey, El Picone. El Pecan. El Pecan, El Picone. It would be nice, and maybe one of these days, wwe2k or whatever might get smart and actually put my last name as a last name. But until then, I guess we're going to have to bear with me being called El Picone in the games. But that's alright. Make sure my headphones are working. Alright. I've got to get her a legitimate entrance. Okay, I thought I did. Apparently I haven't. I really need to spend some time one of these days and just kind of go through a bunch of stuff. And I haven't really sat down and done that lately. But some stuff definitely needs a little... I mean, I've been trying to update what I can periodically, but I just need to, have a day where I focus on just updating a bunch of stuff. Like entrances and stuff like that. But alright, Laura Marcel, there you see her kicking us off. Former tag team champion right there. Gonna take on Alicia Silver. One half of the tag team that we have on Sirens here, known as Silver Spear. Ooh, pardon me. Alright, so obviously, guys, I'm not playing this tonight. We're just going to let the computer do everything. I'm just going to commentate, sit back with you guys, talk some wrestling, talk about what's going on in the wrestling world and what's going on the show here. Just kind of have a BS session, basically, with some really cool women and some matches here. So, alright, Laura Marcel, Alicia Silver, and I'll commentate periodically, but here we go. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Crossbody into a pin right off the bat. Okay. And she wants to get this over quick. Nice drop toe hold here. Yeah, if there's anything wrestling related, guys, you guys want to discuss, by all means, we can do that. It's almost like having a podcast, but it's a YouTube thing. I don't know. If I could just stop coughing and actually breathe for a second, I'd be okay. Alright, Alicia Silver taking it to Laura here. And for the official next episode of Sirens, that being Sirens Season 5, Episode 8, it will officially be the pay-per-view. I believe it's the Pick Your Poison pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be working on that hopefully tomorrow. Thoughts on NXT 2.0? Alright, you know what? I was actually waiting for somebody to ask me about that. To be honest, I don't really like the bright colors, necessarily. To me, it gives me like a Nickelodeon Sesame Street feel. But I see what they're trying to do. They want to have more of their own homegrown talent that they can kind of... independent wrestlers that they have to strip down and give them new gimmicks or this or that. So on like a scale of 1 to 10 for NXT 2.0 so far, I would have to say I'd give it an 8. It's good. It's nice to see new fresh faces, but where some things kind of need to go back to the way they were a little bit. One thing, you know, it's not really a big gripe for me, but one thing I noticed with NXT 2.0, too many damn camera cuts. Like the camera, like 1 minute you're looking here, next minute you're looking here, next minute you're looking here. And that's a Kevin Dunn thing. I know that. Kevin, you see it on Monday Night Raw, you see it on SmackDown. It's a Kevin Dunn thing. Okay, so that's like a production thing. I think the stage could be a little bit better, maybe a little bit bigger. Actually have a rampway, give it, you know, some kind of, you know, or some, I don't know, just change up the stage a little bit. The seating arrangement, okay, so the seating arrangement for the arena for NXT 2.0 threw me off a bit, because it was like I was watching an episode of Oprah. And I agree with you, James. I really do think that Braun Breaker, or Rick Steiner's son, Rex, should have replaced LA Knight. I really do. Because if they would have... Okay, because they took out O'Reilly. They gave it to that new guy, Wagner. Why the hell didn't they give Braun Breaker the opportunity? Right, exactly. And see, that's the thing. It's a studio show. So that's why I said, like... But here's the thing, James. It's like, okay, so the original NXT was in a studio when they were in Full Sail. But it legit looked badass. Like, you had the rampway, you had the fans in a square and not a circle. To me, NXT 2.0's arena looked like the Thunderdome, but with fans. It was really weird. And yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I think you should have put Braun Breaker, Wagner, you could have put... Hell, you could have put Kushida in there. He's technically still sort of new. You know, and stuff like that. You know, or at least give the belt to Pete Dunne. To be honest. If they would have gave it to Pete Dunne, technically he's new, he's never held the belt, there you go. No, what did they do? 2.0, they want to give it back to Tommaso Ciampa. That's just weird. Hit Row, oh my god, I love Hit Row. Love their theme music, love BFAB, love Isaiah Swerve Scott, Top Dollar. I'm a little on the fence when it comes to Ashanti Diadonis. Like, yeah, his in-ring skills and stuff are cool and stuff, but he's kind of like a weird version of JTG, which is, I guess, isn't bad, but I don't know. You know what's funny is, until the other night on NXT when I saw Isaiah with the North American title, I legit forgot who the hell held the North American title, because nobody's defended it in so long since Bronson Reed lost it that I forgot, honestly, who the champion was. So that's something they need to fix. They need to make that title more predominant as well as the tag in the women's and the singles. You know, and then the other thing I'm curious about, okay, who is the NXT Women's Tag Champion? Whatever happened to that? Like, I don't even know who the Women's Tag Champions are. Diamond Mine needs a better leader. Roderick isn't a leader. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that Roderick Strong should be leading that group. I think Roderick should be tag teaming with Kyle O'Reilly. That's just me. You know, or if he wants to become a heel, but he should be on his own. You know, that's just kind of how I feel. I am still on the fence about the whole Mandy Rose thing. Don't get me wrong, looks hot as hell. Like, she can pull off any hair color and I would be completely okay with that. She's got the body, the looks for it. The thing I hate about the whole Mandy Rose thing is now there's rumors that eventually that Mandy's going to get replaced with somebody else. And then Mandy's going to go out on her own or something like that. That's cool, but if you're going to give Mandy brunette hair, make her a badass, and then eventually put her on her own, you better put a belt around that woman's waist. She deserves it. I'm sorry, she has the ability. She's got the charisma. She's got the look. She's, you know, she can go. She's a badass. Like, give her the belt. I think Raquel's had it way too long. Oh, and Alicia, as I'm babbling on here. Alicia's, oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. See? I try to keep up with it, but sometimes I forget. So, Io Shirai and Zoe Stark. That's right. I knew it was somebody that I should have remembered. Io, okay, I'm going to tell you right now before we get into our next match. Io Shirai, the best thing for her is to never go to the main roster. She will get treated just like Kairi Sane or Asuka and not be used properly. They will try to glam her up and turn her into the old Io Shirai. If anything, team her with Saray, because they were kind of partners in New Japan and stuff like that before. So put Io with Saray and have them fight Mandy Rose's Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Speaking of which, for those who didn't know, that faction of Mandy, JC, and Gigi has the weirdest name I've ever could think of. Toxic Attraction. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be attracted or think that they're toxic. It's like, it's weird. It's like I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It's just me. Zoe Stark definitely needs some more mic ability. She's good in the ring, but on the mic, no. I don't know. Ember Moon, honestly, she should not be in NXT. But at the same time, I'm glad she's not on the main roster, not getting used. Kind of like Shotzi and Tegan. Shotzi should have never went to the main roster. Same with Tegan Nox. I'm sorry, but they shouldn't have. It's just something that never should have happened. I still have the old Devolution Arena. Wow. Hey, Rocco, what's up, man? We're just BSing about like NXT 2.0 and wrestling in general, and then we're just throwing together some really cool matches with the Sirens girls. Alright, so we've seen Alicia Silver in action. Alright, let's see. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're going to see Barbara Benson in action. Let's do this version of Barbara. I haven't seen this one in a while. Versus Tokyo Rose and Cody Kane. You know, I actually ended up following the person that created Cody Kane the other day on Twitter. Like, I didn't even know they were on Twitter. Because I've had this character for months now, and then all of a sudden, I found it on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay. Never responded to my message, by the way. Saying that, hey, I got your character, blah, blah. But the character I have of Cody Kane isn't, I guess... I mean, it's the same name. Character, because I looked at the one that they had versus the one that's on the screen you're seeing now. Totally different style, but maybe it's an update. I don't know. But either way, hey, I'm gonna say this one again, and I beat the hammer the nail on the hammer on this way too many times. It's like beating a dead horse. But I'm going to say it again. So that way, if anybody ever watches this and complains, I need you to understand. If you put something on community creations and you do not want to get it downloaded, then you shouldn't upload anything. And if you do, make sure that the person that gets it, and then take your stuff down. If you are dumb enough to leave your stuff up there, and then months later somebody downloads it like me, and you complain about it, sorry, that's what community creations is. And if you want to take it a step further and complain to 2K or complain to PlayStation, and this guy has my character. Okay, here's the thing. They don't care. It's called community creations. It's a community. If you put it out there for the community to use, that's what they're going to do. And I've got dogs trying to do the nasty. Okay, hold on, guys. Quit that. Anything can happen on the live stream, you guys have... I swear. I apologize. Thank God you didn't have to see it on the screen over here. Alright, here we go. Triple threat match. This was made by James. We got Barbara Benson. She calls herself the Sinister Soul. And she's actually one I've had since back in the Devolution days. So she is a former... I believe she's a former Women's Intercontinental Champion, if I'm not mistaken. But Barbara is one of those that I originally downloaded, and I kept her around for a long time. I guess you could almost say like a Sirens original, you know. But anyway, enough about the CAW stuff. I don't want to get too involved in it. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or cause a big problem. But we were talking about NXT 2.0 and NXT in general. Okay, so Rocco commented, he goes, totally feel you and what you said about community creations. The only problem is a lot of creators have people who steal their attires. Okay, that I get to an extent. That does suck. I don't like, necessarily seeing my attire on somebody else's character. But again, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I had just mentioned, Rocco, is, and don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm going to take your character, Xander, for instance. I'm going to say, oh, I don't like the character, but I like the clothes. But I'll admit, honest to God, I have done that. I have went and I have found certain attires that I really like, and I'm like, hey, this would look cool on one of these characters that I already have, but I don't know how to get to how they did it. So what I'll do is I'll take the attire, put it on one of the characters I have, and swap that out. But I'm not actually going to keep the attire the way it is. I will go in and I will change something a little bit. Like, say, for instance, okay, this is the original attire that I found for Cody Kane, right? If I really wanted to, and I didn't want the character, which I do, but if I didn't, I would take the attire, put it on another lady, and then I'd go back in and I would change something. I would add a logo. I would change the color scheme, change the shoes, something. So that way it doesn't look exactly like the original attire or character. Because at that point, I'm not necessarily copying. I'm taking it, making it my own, but I'm not necessarily calling it my own. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense to some of you. Again, I don't want to be labeled as somebody that steals characters or stuff like that. Again, community creations is there for a reason. Okay? Okay, for instance, I went earlier on 2K20. A friend of mine, I was helping out Rick, my friend Rick Error. You guys have seen her, Rick Lewis, a few times. The owner of CSWA, or not CSWA, SWA, just regular SWA. Okay, so he's tried something new out, right? He wanted help with 20, 1-on-20. We went on community creations together. I share played with him for a minute, and I was showing him what I was talking about is, okay, the top guy. The top download on the entire 2K20 game, CM Punk. Okay? For example, let's say, for instance, Rocco, you create CM Punk. Okay? looks badass, right? You put him up on community creations, but you don't want anybody to really download him. But okay, 8-9 months go by, and you start noticing your version of CM Punk with custom clothes and this start popping up everywhere. Okay? But you also see that it's your version of CM Punk, but somebody else took it and put somebody else's clothes on him. Okay. Again, once it's on community creations, it's free game. I'm going to download it. I'm going to tweak it how I want. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to remove what I want. Because once I own that community creations, oh well. You know, I put my personal CAW, the one that looks just like me with, you know, and I added the tattoo and stuff. If I didn't want people to download it, I wouldn't leave him up there. But I've left him up there, and he's been downloaded like 20 times on 20, and I don't know how many countless times on 19 at the time. Brandon Blaze, okay? I went on 20, and it said I uploaded him November of 2019, and it's still there, downloaded almost 60 times. If I didn't want people to have that attire, that look, that character, those movesets, entrance, blah, 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 then I would have taken him down day one. After, you know, a couple people had him. But you know what? I don't care. So again, you know, that's my little spiel on the whole community creations and, you know, people stealing stuff and blah, blah, blah. You know, if you don't want your stuff stolen, or you don't want certain people using it, don't put it up there so long to where other people you don't want get it. I don't know how much more, you know, I could really express that, but I don't know. To me, honestly, if somebody took my character, say all three of these characters were mine, and they're not. They're just randoms that I found on CC, right? Okay, if I was the creator of one of these three characters, and I happened to pop onto my channel for the first time ever, and was like, oh my god, that's my character. My first thought would be, yes, I might be a little taken back or a little upset, but if the show is good, or you're showcasing my character, or you're talking about my character, and they're doing good, then by all means, keep it. Do something with it. Make it your own. Make it awesome. And that's what I try to do. I never put anybody's creations down. I talk them up. I give them opportunities. I don't squash them. I don't play favorites. You guys know how I run things. So, after I express my feelings on that, because that's something I feel like a lot of people ask me a lot, whether it be live or in private, you know, hey, this is, you know, what's going on, you know, whatnot. But yeah, see, Rocco gets it. He goes, no, I totally understand, even you've done that. Like, to you, designing, so I really don't bother if people steal it, because it feels like I'm helping them out, basically. Exactly, you know, and then that's kind of how I feel about it, you know. I would rather help somebody else that doesn't really play the game much, or doesn't, you know, or gets frustrated because they feel like they're not creative enough. Okay, I felt that way at times too. That's why James Sargent, you know, he's created a lot of arenas for me, a lot of titles, characters, and stuff. Why do I have other people do that for me? Because not only can I get them noticed and get their creations out there and give them the credit, but sometimes I have a creative block in my mind that goes, well, crap. I need a title, or I need a badass arena. Hey, I know so-and-so can do it for me. If I do something for them, they'll do something, you know, like, we try to work together as a family and a group of people. And that's what, to me, the EFED and CAW CAW community and community creations should be about. You know, if I go on community creations and I found a belt that I think is really badass, but I didn't make it, by all means, I'm going to say, hey, listen, I did not make this. I found this on CC. Okay, I might have added some stuff or taken some stuff out or switched some stuff around. But at the end of the day, I know that it's not mine. So I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, praise me, young Padawan. I'm the one that made it. No, I'm not like that. I know there's people that are like that, but I'm not. So, again, you know, this has actually been a pretty good match. I've been sitting here watching this. Obviously, you know, I'm trying to talk to you guys through the camera too, but, you know, obviously, if you guys are looking at me, you can tell that I'm watching the show right here, and I've got the camera right here. So, definitely paying attention. And then over here, I've got the comments right here. So pretty good match so far. Oh, Cody's back gave out the. People are probably going to be watching this later and being like, what the hell is he talking about? Going on and on and on. I thought this was impromptu. It is impromptu, guys. But that's what impromptu is. It's almost like you throw together some great matches. You talk wrestling. You EFEDing in general. Just all around wrestling related. Because I can't necessarily do a podcast. I don't know how. One of these days, maybe I'll figure that out. I don't own a computer, so obviously you guys know I do this straight from the PlayStation here. And so there you go. Yeah, see, and I help update certain talent too. You know, like I'll ask him. I'll say, hey, listen, you want to be a part of my show? That's awesome. But can I ask your advice and say, how can I improve your character to make it stand out? So Rocco, if you didn't already know how to make badass attires like you do, you know, I'm just using you as an example because you're here, and James is here too. And James knows what I'm talking about because he just did this too. You know, I was at Chaos Reaper. I believe you just joined CSWA, okay? And James asked you, hey, I like your character, but can we enhance it to make you stand out? You said yes, and there you go. Now you're going to stand out. And yes, I like that. CSWA talking about me, TCW, with our brand new show taking place of Triumph. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, stand out. If you guys have not watched the first episode of Thriller Championship Wrestling Standout, I'm telling you right now, you missed one hell of a freaking show. From beginning to end, the opening segment, opening match, all the way to the freaking main event. Absolutely one of the best shows I've put on in quite a while. We had a fatal four-way ladder match for a number one contender for the... What the hell just happened? She just... Now, if that would have happened on 20, the game would have broke right there. But yeah, you know, and... Yeah, Conor Omega definitely stood out. And I have to talk about that match because... Honest to God, James, you and Daniel O'Grady, I think, were the two biggest underdogs in that match. You had Ryan Rex, a former two-time Universal Champion, a former Pacific Northwest, a former, I believe, tag team, and I know he's been hardcore, and I think he was global champion at one time too, but anyway, he's held a lot of titles. He's been here since day one, just like Conor. You had Caleb Shaw, the first and ever Universal Champion. No. So Ryan's only held it once. Sorry. Caleb's the only two-time Universal Champion. That's right. Caleb Shaw. You know, he was the longest reigning Pacific Northwest Champion. You know, he's held multiple titles, TV titles, hardcore titles, this and that. Okay, you had the Beast. He used to be the longest reigning World Heavyweight Champion before he got exiled and then came back. Okay, so you've got all these elements in this match. High-profile names. Conor Omega never held a single freaking title ever in TCW as of yet. You have Daniel O'Grady, one of the youngest and smallest world champions I've ever had. But like I said, those five men in that fatal five-way match tore the house down in the main event, and in the end, yes, you're right, Conor stood out. Lived up to the name Standout. He stood out, he won the thing at the last minute, got the 1-2-3, earned himself a Universal title match against Pac-Man at the Battle Zone pay-per-view. And I honestly, I can't wait to see it. This could be Conor's breakout moment, to be honest. Finally getting his first singles title, and it's the Universal Championship, the top prize on Standout. So, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment in itself, just to even get that type of match. Now, this match here, this was amazing. Cody Kane and Tokyo Rose and Barbara Benson. Three great athletes, amazing talents, and they put on a hell of a triple threat right here. So, congratulations to them. I was really impressed. All right, Cody Kane got the win, folks. All right, well, since we don't have a third match just yet, none of you guys have really chose anything just yet, I'm going to go ahead and let's throw together, let's do a Fatal 4-Way, let's do a TLC match. I think that sounds really cool. Let's do a Fatal 4-Way TLC, obviously in the Sirens Arena, so that's what show we're on. Alright, so, you guys know I'm going to randomize this, so here we go. Linda Dreamcatcher. Alright. One half of the, oh man, I can't remember what that team name is anymore. Brandy Armstrong. Okay. She's a TCW Hall of Famer, 6-time former women's champion. Jessica Leslie. Alright, from the Lost Coven faction. Alright. And Isabella Royce, #1 contender to the women's tag titles. This actually is not a bad lineup, really. You got a Hall of Famer, you got a #1 contender, you've got a faction member, and you've got a tag team specialist in Linda Dreamcatcher. Alright, let's see how this works out. I believe, actually, this is the first time any of these four have actually ever faced off, besides maybe like a impromptu rumble or something. So, this is pretty cool. And like I said, this gives me an idea of what it would be like. Oh, this person's going to take on this person, you know. That's another reason why I like doing impromptu, because I can get an idea of like, okay, if I put so-and-so against so-and-so, you get an idea of how it might turn out. You know, or how they might mesh, I guess you should say. So again, we talked about the community creations a little bit. You guys, that was a big thing for a moment. We've talked about Standout and Conor Omega's rise to the top. He's getting there anyway. I don't know. What else do you guys want to talk about? Remember, we got 4 different shows. We've got Sirens, Freedom. A lot of people don't know what Freedom is, and I can talk about that if you guys want. It's another all-women's show, but it's different than what you're seeing here. And what I mean by different is... yeah, we'll talk about the draft in a minute. But so... TCW Freedom, okay, it's an all-women show, and yes, it does have CAWs, but those CAWs are not like what you're seeing here. They're not like actually custom looking. They look like real women. They look like Britt Baker. They look like Penelope Ford. They look like Takanchi or Anna Jay or Chyna or Daphne or Raquel Gonzalez or Io Shirai. You know, all that kind of stuff. That's that show, and I mix it with the in-game talent. So that's a humongous freaking women's roster, right? You got 100 CAW creation slots. You've got your 40, 50 plus in-game talent. That creates one hell of a dense roster. And granted, we've only had 2 actual shows of that. A lot of impromptu after that. We are going to be starting that up again, hopefully this weekend, sometime between now and Monday, with episode 3. I can tell you that our women's world champion on there is Alexa Bliss. Our United States women's champion is Britt Baker, DMD. Our tag champions are the Iconics. And our Legends or Legacy women's champion, if I remember right, is Beth Phoenix. And I believe there was one more championship, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I remember those main 4. But anyway, it's a good show. I can't wait to start that up again. And all the characters I've downloaded, except for maybe a handful, maybe a small couple of them, actually look like legit. The faces, the tattoos, the attires, it blows my mind the things that you guys on Community Creations can make. So, hats off to all the community creation creators out there. Like, you guys do a hell of a good job. Sometimes, I'm going to say 90% of the time, way better than I could do. And I mean, I do a pretty good job, don't get me wrong, but they put in the effort, they put in the time, and I try to, don't get me wrong. It's just, like I say, sometimes I have those creative blocks. But that's pretty much what Freedom's about. Sirens, obviously, you know what Sirens is. We're doing it right here live right now. Excel, it's men and women mixed. It's another CAW show. It's taken off. It's in its, I believe, second season now, and it's doing really good. And then Triumph is now Standout. So, a lot of cool stuff happening there as well. So that's Thriller Championship Wrestling in a whole. 4 shows, 100 characters or more on each show. So we're talking like 400 plus characters. So yeah, exactly, James. I live by the same thing. I do what I can. I do my best. But I agree. I've definitely seen some really great stuff and really great creations, whether it be arenas, men, women, tag teams, belts, logos, just actual looking talent like CM Punk or blah blah blah, you know, or even a celebrity, you know, say somebody created Iron Man, you know, or Miley Cyrus, for instance, you know, whatever it might be, and it looks just like them. Like, that's insane that you guys can do that. Your creative ability. I used to be good like that. I'm not anymore. I haven't really played around with community creations as much as I used to. I'm hoping to when 2K22 comes out, though. I really want to come up with some badass creations again. Yeah, and I agree, James. I think your forte is arenas and belts. I think mine is women characters. You know, and then there's some people that just can't create a woman to save their life. And I understand that. But this is one thing that I honestly can say I think I'm really good at. If I take the time and do it, you know. So... and my honestly, I guess the other thing, this doesn't really count as creating, but I guess it does if you consider what we're doing right now. My biggest thing is not only the women, but the commentary. I am really good at commentating and, you know, expressing things. Yeah, you've got great ideas for attires, but you probably have the same problem I do, James, and that is trying to get the attires on that person, and then when you look at it, you're like, oh, that actually doesn't look as good as, you know. I have that problem. I have the idea in my head, but when I try to put it, you know, to the game or whatever, it just doesn't look the same. So. But if you happen to be just tuning in, folks, just so you know, this is impromptu. This is the Sirens roster. Right now we got a fatal 4-way, tables, ladders, and chairs. We got Jessica Leslie in the black in the ring against Linda Dreamcatcher. We have in the red on the outside, that is Isabella Royce, and the red-haired with the shorts kind of like Ronda Rousey, that is Brandy Armstrong. Yeah, creative black happens with me, unfortunately, quite a lot as I've gotten older. Hopefully it doesn't get worse as I get even more older. I mean, I'm already 31. I'm hoping it doesn't get worse, but that's why I got to keep doing stuff like this to keep me fresh and energized and just going. So that's kind of what the whole TCW thing's about. Just in case anybody's ever curious. Okay, James, you mentioned the WWE draft coming up. I believe it's what, October, like October something. To be honest, I think it's a good thing. But I don't see, obviously, NXT being a part of that. And in a way, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. But here's what they need to do. They have all this untapped talent that they're wasting on SmackDown and even on Raw. Raw's a 3-hour freaking show. Cut down the promos, cut down the commercial breaks, and all the backstage blah, 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 blah. Give us matches. Okay, so I was watching a podcast, the Rant and Rave podcast, so shout out to Brandon Martin and the guys over there. Okay, I was watching that today. They were breaking it down match by match, how long Monday Night Raw was. Okay, the first match of Monday Night Raw, Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler. Great match. 15 minutes long. Okay, that's cool. That's awesome. Later night in the show, Nikki ASH versus, I think it was Tamina. 5-minute match. Then you go over, right after that, you have Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. An 8-minute match. So altogether, you wasted maybe 15 minutes with 2 matches. Hey, what's up, Alpha? Welcome. But as I was saying, Raw could be 3 hours if they would just dumb down some of the stuff and use more of the talent, okay? You tune into Monday Night Raw. When was the last time you seen Ricochet? Okay? When was the last time you seen whoever, you know? Dana Brooke. You know, and some of those... And here's the other thing. They have 205 Live. Does anybody even still watch that? To be honest, I stopped watching when they released Tony Nese and Aria Davari and a bunch of others. Let me go see what that's about. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Dog barks, I had to go investigate. Okay, so I'm looking at the comments right now. Okay, again, hello Alpha again. Welcome, glad to hear, man. For impromptu tonight. Okay. So James, you say main event is the home of Ricochet and Cedric. Yeah, it is. It's been the home of Ricochet, Cedric, Jeff Hardy, Dana Brooke. There for a while, Mandy Rose, the smartest thing she did was go back to NXT. And hey, look at that. Jessica wins with the invisible ladder. Oh my goodness. Well, we didn't really see any tables or chairs, but it wasn't a bad match. I'd give it a 3 stars. Talent-wise, 5 stars. But see, look at that. She went. There's no ladder there. How? Whatever. Oh, look, the ladder appears again. Ah, 2K logic, right? Okay. I feel like I'm griping more than I am like pretending like I'm podcasting, because I'm not really a podcast. I'm just doing a YouTube impromptu thing. But I feel like I'm just like griping about stupid stuff, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Now what do you guys want to see? So we've seen a one-on-one match, we've seen a triple threat, we've seen Fatal 4. What all you want to see, guys? Obviously, we're not doing a tournament. That would take way too damn long. We can do rumbles, but I kind of usually save those to the end. I haven't done a handicap match in a long time. Like, I haven't even done one on the show in a while. So if you hear anything, I am not tired. I'm just relaxed. I don't know, you guys want to see a tag team match? We can do it, but I've got tag Hell in a Cell, I've got tag team. See, this is how I do tag teams. You just do a regular tag team, and then you just turn off the count out outside. So every time I do a tag team match on the shows, I usually try to make sure that the outside count's turned off, because it can glitch the game sometimes. Like, it creates a really bad glitch. You know what? Let's do a steel cage tag team. I haven't done one of those. Alright, so we'll change the arena real quick. Now we're just going to randomize these teams, so these people probably never really team with each other. But let's see what happens. So we got Linda's partner, Casey Warhawk. So we got the other half of the team. So we got Casey and Ashley Watts. Okay, that's an interesting tag team. Versus Sophia Carter, #1 contender, by the way, to the women's world title. And she's going to partner tonight with... Oh, crap. Let let me try this again. I messed it up. Victoria Pierce. No. Alright, let's try one more. Aubrey Young. Let's do Amy Morrison. Why not? Just trying to change it up a bit. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. We got Casey Warhawk, Ashley Watts on your left, taking on Sophia Carter and Amy Morrison in a tag team tornado steel cage. Alright, well, that's what we're going to get. But again, we were talking about the draft. Okay, so obviously we already know Big E's going to now stay on Raw. So he got drafted technically without actually being drafted, I guess. But I get why they did it, because unless they do it a certain way, which, okay, let's backtrack a little bit. Okay, Big E goes to Raw, wins the WWE title, right? We know that. Who else is on Raw? Kofi, Xavier. Okay, that technically brings the New Day back together, because for some reason, in my opinion, I think Vince feels that the New Day cannot survive on their own. They have to somehow be together. So why not put them on the same show? But if Vince was smart, he would have Big E turn on Kofi, turn on Xavier. Big E stays on his own. The New Day does their own thing. The other thing is you could have Kofi turn, or have Xavier. Honestly, I think Xavier should turn on both Kofi and Big E, and Xavier should get a shot at like a title. That dude has legit held no singles gold. He's always been a tag team champion. That is sad, because in TNA, when he was Consequences Creed, that guy was badass. And I got a dog that can't lay down. Okay. Jasmine, no, come on. I'm not, no. Oh, that's what this tag team's name is. Okay, so Casey Warhawk and Linda Dreamcatcher, the two Native American sisters. I forgot, they're known as the Order. I had to look that up. I was like, oh yeah, they're known as the Order. That's right. They have almost became tag champions for Sirens a couple times. You'd have Kofi and Xavier join MVP. That would be awesome. But I don't know if you've heard, earlier today, WWE announced that because of the RKO that MVP sustained on Monday Night Raw, MVP supposedly broke a rib and is out indefinitely. So if that's the case, does that mean Bobby Lashley's now going to have to talk for himself? There went the Hurt Business. It doesn't... Either that, or... Here's the other thing. That's what I'm thinking. Lashley's going to go to SmackDown, beat Roman Reigns. Or no, Brock will beat Roman. Lashley will go to SmackDown, challenge Brock, and we'll finally get Lashley versus Lesnar. There you go. Drew McIntyre needs to be drafted back to SmackDown. That's my opinion. Actually, no, because if you think about it, now that Drew is he's on Raw, right? Yeah. So now that Lashley is supposedly supposed to go to SmackDown and he doesn't hold the WWE title, that now opens up the fact that now Drew McIntyre can re-challenge for the WWE title again. Because the stipulation was Drew could not challenge for the major title as long as Lashley held it. So that opens that up again. You know, there's many different factors. I think Cesaro should be on Raw, yes. Nakamura too. And I don't know. I think Ziggler... I think if you put Rude on Raw, that's cool. But I think Ziggler should stay on SmackDown. I think they should go back to singles competition. Honestly, this is just my opinion. But I think Rude needs to go back to being the badass with the glorious entrance and all that. That's just me. Now, granted, I know he can't use the glorious theme music because of this copyright thing they have against the guy that created the song, CFUS or CFOS, whatever. So some of their theme music they had to change up a little bit. That's why I like Carmella and Sasha and Bailey and a bunch of others got new music. You know, I don't understand why AJ Styles got to keep his and a few others. Maybe they paid big money to keep those. But that's what I had heard, is that they fired Jim Johnson, who was the original music composer for WWE. They hired the CFOS guy, and he wanted a bunch of money, and they wouldn't give it to him, so they fired him. Now they have Def Rebel as their music producer, and some of his music's not bad. It's been okay. But yes, I agree. I can see. Okay, now I see your point, James. Putting Ziggler on Raw gives us Ziggler versus Big E, because we all remember it was Ziggler that brought Big E to the main roster after Big E was on NXT, when Ziggler was dating AJ Lee. I remember that. He was Ziggler's bodyguard. So I can see where you're coming from with that, James. I do remember that. So yeah, that's actually kind of an interesting thought too. But if Nakamura comes to Raw, he needs to come with Rick Boogs. And that Rick Boogs guy, like, legit, they need to actually give him some decent matches, because I've seen that guy when he was in NXT. That guy is jacked. He can go. The other thing that needs to happen is the NXT 2.0. I'm going to go back to that for just a second. They need to start pulling some NXT UK talent, or bouncing back and forth a little bit. You know, we've seen it recently with, you know, Kaylee Ray coming from the UK, you know, whatever. The dumbest move WWE made, you hype up Toni Storm, you put her on SmackDown, you give her 2 freaking matches since she's debuted. 2! What do you do now? You put her in a love story, supposedly backstage with Dolph Ziggler. Retarded. Okay, that's just me. Toni Storm is a badass. She knows what she's doing. If anything, draft her to Raw, team her with Rhea Ripley. Okay, granted they have history, yes. But both of their characters could mesh really well. You've got the Nightmare Rhea Ripley. You've got the rock star Toni Storm. Put them together, you've got a great combination. Plus, they're both Australian, so it kind of works. You get like a Rockers kick-ass version of the Iconics, but without the annoying voices. You know? I don't know. Like, there's many different things I think that the draft is going to do. I think The Miz should go to Raw. No, he's already on Raw. So, The Miz should stay on Raw. John Morrison go to SmackDown. Damian Priest needs to stay on Raw. Sheamus needs to go back to SmackDown. I'm tired of seeing Priest versus Sheamus. Priest versus Sheamus. That is getting so old. Charlotte Flair, just, don't get me wrong, she's a nice lady or whatever, I get it, but she's overhyped and overused. The Usos. Eventually, they need to split the Usos up. Honestly, I want to see what they can do by themselves. Main event Jey Uso was freaking amazing. Yeah, the Bloodline going to Raw. You know what? You got a point there, James. I can see that. LOL, tell us how you really feel. Oh, I am. Trust me. I ain't shooting here. This ain't no promo. This is legit how I feel about some of the stuff that's going on. Okay, you know what? This was mentioned on a podcast earlier today, so I have to look this up. But, let me see if I can find it here. So I saw this the other day, and then it was, excuse me, brought up again tonight during a podcast. It was the band. Oh crap. So, this was 3 days ago this was posted, right? It's WWE's list of banned words updated for the year 2021, okay? These are officially the words that you are no longer allowed to use in WWE. Get this. This tag team match here. Oh, so one member from each team is out. Now it's down to Amy Morrison and Casey Warhawk. Okay, okay. Alright, so I'm going to go through these. You guys can laugh all you want, but this is legit. This is WWE's list of banned words that can no longer be uttered. Okay? Wrestling. Okay, and wrestlers. If that's the case, what the does WWE stand for? What? It ain't Walk with Elias, even though I wish it was. It's World Wrestling Entertainment. So how can you say WWE without... That's upsetting. It's stupid. Okay? Belt. You can't call it a belt. You have to call it a championship. Strap. You're not allowed to call it a strap. And they no longer can have strap matches. So what the hell do you call a strap match? You call it the rope match or whatever. Blood. They no longer can talk or mention anything with blood. And here recently, I've noticed when they do flashback videos of old stuff with blood, the blood is put in black and white. I've seen it on Facebook earlier today. It was at Johnson. It was when Edge cashed in on John. Yes, that was a good match. When Edge cashed in on John Cena, the first time ever at New Year's Revolution to win Edge's first world title. John Cena was bloody, right? Everything up to that point was in color, but anytime they showed John Cena with blood during the video on Facebook, it was black and white. The blood was still there, and you knew that's what it was. But for some stupid reason, WWE decided, oh, we're going to bleep out the blood and put black and white. Dumb. Okay? Here's one for you that I don't understand how this is going to work. They're no longer allowed to say the word choke. Okay, how does that work? He's choking him out, I get it, strangle, choke, I get that. But if that's the case, what the hell are you going to call the choke slam? The throat slam? Dumb. Okay? Dumb, 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 dumb. And we'll get into some more of these here in just a second. There's a long list of stupid words. Some of them I understand. Some of them I'm scratching my head going, okay, Vince, like, are you off your rocker now? I'm afraid to do a backstage brawl. The last time I did that, it like stopped working. You know what? Let's do a table match. So again, you know, you guys are probably wondering why I'm talking so much. Well, I got a lot to get off my chest when it comes to wrestling, and so we're talking impromptu. This is kind of stuff. This is where I get to kind of rant and talk about stuff. Ooh, here's a newcomer, Hinata Takeda. I'm gonna have a hell of a time remembering that name, but that is one of our newcomers here. And Samantha Garrett. I've never seen Samantha with this attire, so let's try it. Well, I'm glad that you like hearing about that, Alpha. I really do, because this is a lot of stuff that's interesting to a lot of people, including myself. Okay, so here we go. We got more. I mean, this list is absolutely stupid. Okay, you can't say wrestling, you can't say wrestlers, can't say belt, can't say blood, can't say choke. The next one, I get it. Diva or divas. I get it. They're not diva or divas anymore. They're superstars. When was the last time you even heard them say divas? I mean, hell, they don't even have the Total Diva TV show anymore. Now if you watch Total Divas, what? It's in reruns. Okay? Strap. We talked about that. Kayfabe. Okay, I get why they don't talk about kayfabe. That's not a thing they should be talking about in wrestling if it's WWE. And I'll get to your question here in just a second, James. That's actually a good one. Another word that they can't say, and I don't know why anybody would say this, mofos. Like, okay, I'm going to see Corey Graves go, look at that mofo right there. He's never going to say that, but okay. Headshot. So in other words, you're telling me if I hit you over the head with a chair, oh man, look at that headshot right there. Dumb. Trauma. You can't, not drama. Trauma, like, oh, look at the trauma that he caused. Can't say that. DQ. You can't say DQ. It's disqualification. You actually have to say disqualification. Again, this is really stupid. The anti-diva. Again, who's going to say diva? The last time we heard anybody say anti-diva was AJ Lee and Paige. Okay? Spinal injuries. Yeah, you can't say DQ. Here is your winner by DQ. No. Here is your winner by disqualification. That's the only way you can say it now in WWE. You can't talk about or say mention spinal injuries. So you say back injury or whatever. You can't say the word victim. Oh, he just got victim or victimized. Or he's going to be the Undertaker's next victim. Nope, you can't say that. You can't say the word violence or violent in WWE. Oh, look at that violent attack. Oh, yeah, look at the violence. Nope, can't say that. Obviously, this one, you can't say WWF. We know that. Wife beater. Just, some of these don't make sense. But why is wife beater? I mean, okay, I get it. It's called a tank top. But when I first thought of that, I'm thinking like, okay, are you talking about like somebody that beats their wife? Like, that confused me. Curb stomp. They no longer can say curb stomp because, and I'm sorry, but apparently this is racist, but they can't say curb stomp. They now have to call it the stomp. They can't call it curb stomp because I guess the African American community thinks that that's racist. Whatever, okay. Do what you want with that one, okay? The word strangle. Okay, that makes sense because of, and kill and murder. All those I can get because of the Chris Benoit thing, right? House show. They no longer are allowed to talk or say anything about a house show. And we'll get back to the list in a second. I want to see your question. If they are going to push NXT 2.0 with new talent, they need guys like Austin Theory to be the star. Exactly. Austin Theory, Dexter Lumis, you know, people like that. Timothy Thatcher. Honestly, I don't understand why they got rid of Bronson Reed, to be honest. Or, you know, some of these others. Really dumb decision. Yeah, push Gargano, Ciampa, and the veterans to Raw. I agree. Well, right now, I don't even think Gargano should be on the show. If he is, you know, maybe enhancing other talent, like, you know, with the way, he should be pushing Austin Theory and stuff, because Candice LeRae is pregnant. That's why she hasn't been competing. She's pregnant with a baby girl right now. But she said she wanted to be on screen to help Indy Hartwell and this and that. But when she started showing, they were going to have her written off of TV. That's why Candice LeRae has not been competing. Loomis will be gone. You think Dexter will be gone soon? Gargano's done at the end of the year. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I know Pete Dunne just signed an extension for a 3-year contract. That's why, honestly, I thought Pete Dunne should have got the belt the other night, but, you know, it is what it is. Again, back to the list. Okay, so you can't say house shows, so you can't say, oh, at last week's live event house show, blah, blah, blah. Nope, can't talk about the house shows. And then get this. DQ and kayfabe are on here twice. I don't know why, but they're on this list twice. Oh, Dunn signed a 4-year. I thought it was a 3-year. Oh, okay. You can't say the word push. Like, oh, let's give this guy a push. Or this, you know, they can't say that. Which also means the next one, you can't talk about being over, like somebody being over with the fans. You can't call somebody or talk about them being a babyface or a heel. You can't talk about them being being jobbed out or being a jobber. Use the word card, like match card. You're no longer allowed to say match card. You have to say tonight's lineup or tonight's matches. You can't call it a match card. Stupid, I know, but that is the entire list updated for 2021. So okay, so see, like it says here, it says, Okay, some of the words likely won't come as a surprise to fans who have watched WWE programming for a while, as industry terms like heel, babyface are never used, and the family-friendly rating has stopped certain words pertaining to violence, including violence itself, from being uttered. Two entries that might raise an eyebrow are Curb Stomp and the Anti-Diva. The former is still Seth Rollins' finishing move, although they've been calling it just the Stomp for quite a while the latter is used to be Paige's nickname. The former Divas champion, which no longer you can say Diva, has recently been teasing a return to pro wrestling after a neck injury forcing her to retire in 2018. Because when she said, I quote, "I'm not fucking done," Paige said during a recent Twitch stream. "I'm not done yet. This is going to be my comeback story. I'm inspired. I've been inspired by the people coming back to wrestling like Edge and Daniel Bryan. And the more I think about it, I'm like, okay, mentally, I'm ready to go. I'm going to start working around, getting in the ring a little bit. Maybe we'll see. This is not saying I'm making a comeback tomorrow. It's a long fucking road. I still have to get cleared by doctors. I have to get cleared by WWE, and it's such a big process. But emotionally, I'm ready to do this. The past few months, I didn't think I was emotionally ready, but no, I am ready to get back on that horse. Even if it takes me a year, one step at a time. I'm built to do it. That's exactly what I'm doing. There's a whole journey, and it's going to take some time." So, there you go. But some of that list, honestly, is insane. Pat McAfee has to filter himself. And honestly, I can see Pat McAfee purposely not filtering himself, because that's going to get them ratings. That's what I don't understand. Do you think WWE will ever have an error like the Attitude Era? I think ruthless aggression, yes. I can see that happening. And honestly, that's kind of what was happening with NXT before NXT became what we have now. But we'll see how that works. I mean, it's only been 1 week. Give it about another month. Maybe they do another takeover. Let's see how NXT... And that's the other thing. Are we still going to be calling NXT takeovers takeover, or are they just going to call it something else? That's the question I have. And I'd like to find that out. So everything WWE is stupid. Like, OMG, the crap they banned is... Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, it's almost like WWE wants us fans to be like... And I can't say the word that I want to say because I don't want to get in trouble, but it's stupid. We'll just put it... It's another word for stupid. Okay? Exactly. That's what I think they're going to end up having to change the name War Games to something else. Takeover turns to, yeah, NXT Makeover, right? Welcome to NXT Makeover 2.0. You know, like, I'm sorry. Now I can totally see why poor Triple H had a heart attack. Because of crap like this. Oh! I heard that in my headphones. I'm like, damn. Hinata, man. And since I debuted her a couple episodes ago, she's been, yeah, Takeover 2.0, right? Here's the thing that upsets me, okay? So NXT used to be on the road. And then they would do their home shows at Orlando. Why the hell can't they do that now? Why can't they travel around with WWE, with the Raw and SmackDown brand? Get more exposure, get more eyes watching NXT. You know, get us familiar with these characters. Besides just the internet and whatever. I'm sorry, I just think, honestly, if it's not broken, don't fix it, don't try to make it better. Keep it the way it... Again, another example, Karrion Kross. Mick Foley and Booker T and a lot of other people, including myself, and I'm pretty sure some of you out there, have said the same thing. They killed any momentum Karrion Kross had by bringing him to the main roster on main event, getting squashed by Jeff Hardy, and the guy was the NXT World Champion. And then what did they do? He loses the belt, right? He loses it to Samoa Joe. Okay? And then, what did they do? They decide, oh, well, we're going to give Karrion Kross a makeover. He's going to come out looking like a member of the was it like not the executioners, but it looks like an executioner's mask. Okay, and then so they did that, and then they take away Scarlet from him, which was the dumbest thing they ever did. And you know, it's sad. Yeah, Demolition. Thank you. Yeah, killing off the Undisputed Era definitely killed NXT to an extent. I do agree with that. Granted, we knew Adam Cole was going to leave because he wanted to be around his friends. And also, he didn't want to give up his Twitch stream. So, I can kind of see that. But, I don't know. It's just... It sucks. Alright, so, before I get back into the chat stuff. Alright, so this is a Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way. We've got Julian Meadow, Jordan, Heather Monroe, Izzy Van Doren, and Tiffany Lennings. So that... Oh, man, we're playing the Extreme Rules thing. Oops, I forgot to change it. Oh, well. Oh, well. If they try to copyright me for something stupid, whatever at this point. I mean, they might give me a warning, but they're not going to say, hey, you can't stream, you know. I've had many warnings. It just means I won't get monetized, which it's fine because I don't do it for money anyway. So I've never made a single cent off of YouTube. Never have, never will. I don't even care if I had like 3,000 followers, you know, subscribers. You know, at that point, yes, I know at 1,000 you can make money, but I'm sitting there going, you know what? It's not about that. Like, to me, it's just me reaching out to the wrestling community and talking like we are now, putting on some great shows with some great performers or matches, and you know, just enjoying wrestling like a fan should. You know. And here's the thing, like, I know it sounds like I'm bitching a lot tonight, but here's the thing. Regardless of how I feel, at the end of the day, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm going to watch Raw. I'm going to watch SmackDown. I'm going to watch NXT. Hell, I'm going to watch Dynamite in AEW. I'm going to watch Dark. I'm going to watch Rampage. You know, I've watched Impact. You know, I watch Ring of Honor. BCW, when I go watch that live. You know, and all these other promotions that I can try to get on my phone or whatever. You know, and I watch all the other EFEDs out and stuff. To me, that's what wrestling is. You're not... If you're a wrestling fan, you don't watch just one brand. And if you do, I'm sorry. You be mad at me all you want and think I'm an idiot. But if you just watch one brand, one organization, you are not a wrestling fan. Plain and simple. You are so stuck in your ways that you are obsessed with one thing. That you're too afraid to try something new. Or you're so used to the new thing like AEW that you don't want to watch the other stuff. I get that. That's fine. Whatever. There's some people that don't even know what NXT UK even is. That's another one I forgot to throw in there. You know, there's so much wrestling out there that, yes, you don't have to have just one favorite brand. You could have all of them or just certain ones. Whatever. I get that. It's like that old moniker when people ask, well, who's your favorite superstar? Or who's your favorite wrestler? Okay, back in the Attitude Era, that was a little easy. You know, you could have your top 5, maybe your top 10 even. Nowadays, there's so many promotions, so many great athletes, and a lot of new faces coming and going that I don't even think I could create a top 50, to be honest. And that's just being honest with you guys. I love everybody. Do I like what they say on the mic? No. Because maybe they're a heel, or I think they're annoying. But at the end of the day, that's their character. And I get that. So I don't know. I mean, that's just, you know, that's how I see things. Alpha says, okay, in his opinion, even if WWE somehow turned it around with their policies and everything, the damage is already done, and it'll take years for it to be fixed. That statement, yes, okay, yes, I see your point. Yes, it's kind of true. But it's not going to happen overnight. We know that. It's going to take months, and in fact, yes, you're right, even a year. But if they did it correctly and they constantly tried to improve, I could see WWE doing good. I think this whole NXT thing is a good start, but I don't like the fact that Vince has his hand in it. I think Vince needs to leave NXT to Shawn Michaels and Triple H and, you know, all those people down there in NXT and leave it alone. And when it comes to the main roster, fire Bruce Pritchard. He's the reason why TNA fell the way it did. And they're having a hell of a time coming back. If it wasn't for them partnering with AEW, I don't even think TNA would survive, to be honest. You know, Evolve Wrestling got bought out by WWE, and look what happened to it. All the Evolve stars that went to WWE, only half of them, not even half of them, are still in WWE. Or being used properly. Shotzi Blackheart, okay. Great in NXT. Move her to the main roster. Hasn't done a damn thing, really. Austin Theory. Okay, you moved him to NXT. You did great there. You put him back on Raw. He was shit on Raw. You sent him back down to NXT, and he's doing great with Johnny Gargano in the way. I love it. But at the same point, he was the Evolve champion multiple times, and he was amazing on Evolve. Nope. You send the Street Profits to Evolve. That helped Evolve, well, evolve. Like, they got some legitimacy there. Yeah. Brandi Lauren. I can't stress this enough. One of the most beautiful athletic women that I've seen, in my opinion. She can go. You know, Brandi Lauren. Or, okay, you bring her to NXT. You change her name to Skylar Stories. She doesn't even have one single fucking match. And 2 years later, you release her. Now she's on the independent scene, begging and pleading to be signed by somebody. Dumb. She had a great rivalry in Evolve with Shotzi Blackheart. They moved her to NXT. The only time she was on NXT was during a promo thing where Damian Priest won the North American title and was sitting in a hot tub. The hot redheaded chick in the hot tub, that was Brandi Lauren. That was the only time she was ever on TV. Just, I don't get it. I don't. Like I said, I could talk forever about stars that are underutilized or weren't used correctly. You know, case in point, Bronson Reed. Okay, 2 days before they released Bronson, he was on NXT TV and lost the North American Championship. Okay? Why do you put a high-profile guy like that on a show, losing a title with a great storyline, and then 2 days later, oh, you're released? I'm a WWE nerd. I'm a wrestling nerd, man. Like, you want to take another step further, we'll talk about AEW and the problems I see there. And I know that that's going to hit a nerve with a lot of viewers out there. Okay? We'll talk AEW. We'll do that. We're going to enjoy this Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way match. We're going to talk AEW for a minute. Okay, so the problem I see with AEW, too much talent, not enough shows. Rampage should also be a 2-hour show. Dynamite, 2 hours, obviously. Okay, so there's your Raw, there's your SmackDown. AEW Dark, and AEW, I think they have another one too. It's like Dark or something like that. Elevation. Okay, those are YouTube shows, right? Why not put those on network TV and have them like NXT? Because basically that's what Dark and Elevation are. They're like the Dark matches shows. They're like Elevation, so they're trying to elevate the new talent and enhance storylines and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And see how people mesh against each other. Basically, that's what NXT does. We're supposed to do. So basically, AEW is doing pretty much the exact same thing that WWE is doing, but a little bit better. But like I said, and I've said this many times before, AEW has the problem. They're signing too much former WWE talent. What I mean by that is, okay, cool, you signed Ruby Soho. Awesome. Love Ruby Riott. But what happens when she gets injured again or has to have shoulder surgery again? Guess what? She's on the shelf. She's no good. Okay? Daniel Bryan. Good signing. Will probably put on some killer matches. But as soon as he breaks his neck or something, guess what? He's done. Christian. Finally got a legit title run as TNA champion or whatever. And he got a good push. Good idea. Again, same problem. If he gets injured, guess what? He's gone. Big Show. Too freaking old, too damn big, too slow. Shouldn't be there. CM Punk. And I'm going to talk CM Punk. The guy's been out of action for 7 years, okay? Comes back. He does okay. But the hype for him has gotten to the point now where I love CM Punk, but I don't need to hear about it every day. I don't need to see him every week. You know, I don't. Sting is, he's just too old now. It's like The Undertaker. Let the guy retire. Let him move on. Ric Flair, for crying out loud. Heaven forbid if AEW lets Ric Flair come in, which I know they're going to do because of Andrade. But to bring in Ric Flair, if that old 70-year-old man gets in the ring, dumbest idea AEW could do. Arn Anderson should not. The son, yes. Him, no. You know, it's just, I don't know. Chris Jericho. Love Chris Jericho, always have. Even when he was a heel. Love Chris Jericho. But the old Chris Jericho is nothing compared to what we have now. The old one, awesome. The one we have now is annoying. Like, I'm tired of hearing about Chris Jericho. The guy has gained so much weight and he's so bloated from all the beer and all the you know, abuse to his body. He honestly, he's looking so gray. So old. Honestly, he doesn't even look like Chris Jericho. He looks like Chris Jericho if he took like 2 years off and ate a bunch of cookies and milk. You know, become like Jericho Claus or something, you know? Like, it's bad. It's really bad. Okay? And then, the women's division, okay? You've got some killer talent like Ty Conti. Beautiful young woman. Bright future. Britt Baker. Awesome, great talent. Love Britt Baker. Anna Jay. Another, you know, good talent. You got Ruby Soho in there now. Jade Cargill. Freaking powerhouse, badass bitch. Okay? Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose kind of strikes a nerve with me because obviously I know that that's actually a guy. I'm not against that. I'm just saying I honestly don't see her or Sonny Kiss, I don't think should honestly be fighting the women. I think, okay, if they want to do that, because like I said, I'm not against the transgenders and nothing like, I'm not like that. I'm just saying, if they want to get them over in a good way, do like they did with China and put Nyla Rose and Sonny Kiss against the guys. Tessa Blanchard did it in TNA, and she got over quickly. So, feel free to go all in. Oh, I'm going all in. Jon Moxley, great talent. Love Dean Ambrose, but I hate his theme music. I mean, I love the song Wild Thing, but it doesn't fit him at all. Darby Allin. Love Darby Allin. I know he's from Seattle, Tacoma, whatever, up kind of where I live. Great talent. But he doesn't need to be in all these risky, high-profile, death-defying matches, okay? See? There's something that you didn't know. Or that I didn't know. You don't like his music either. I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't. Miro, or Rusev, great talent. Love what they're doing with him as a heel and the TNT Championship. Love it. The only thing that's going to kill his momentum, and I know it's coming soon, is CJ Perry, Lana. If you're going to bring Lana in, do not repeat what WWE did. Do not put Lana with Miro. Don't do it. I don't really understand his gimmick either. He came in as the best man, and now he thinks he's God's... He almost thinks he's like a male Mandy Rose. He thinks he's God's greatest champion or something. I don't really understand it either. It's a little weird. Malachi Black. Aleister Black. This is the Aleister Black that we had in NXT that we should have had on the main roster, but Vince fucked it up. Okay? I love what they're doing with Malachi. You know, Andrade's character I kind of don't get because it's basically the same shit he did in NXT. You know, it's funny is we're talking about WWE, but we're talking about AEW too, because all the AEW talent right now is former WWE guys. Adam Cole. Okay, Adam Cole. Okay, cool. You brought him in. Big surprise. That's awesome. Hey. What's up, Matt? Not much, man. We're just bullshitting tonight, and I'm not even keeping it PG, really. Like, I'm dropping the F-bombs. I'm dropping, like, it's impromptu, guys. Like, I'm letting it fly. I'm letting out all the emotions when it comes to professional wrestling and wrestling in general. And like we had mentioned earlier, Matt, I know you weren't here to hear this, but you can always watch it later, is, yes, I mentioned wrestling. And earlier tonight, we had talked about the banned list of words that you can't say in WWE. And one of those words is wrestler or wrestling. I'm sorry, but that is complete, utter bullshit. Because, like I said earlier, why the hell call it WWE then? You are World Wrestling Entertainment. What the hell are we supposed to call it? World Men in Tights Entertainment? Or World of People in Underwear Entertainment? Like, what the hell are you supposed to call it? I don't know. It's just, you know, AEW has its problems. NXT and WWE and NXT UK got their issues. All I gotta say is, honestly, okay, if NXT is gonna be the way it is, the regular NXT 2.0 now, heaven forbid if they try to change up NXT UK, because honestly, I think they should leave NXT UK the way it is. Just leave it alone. The only thing I would change right now is, for heavens, for God's sake, please get a live audience back in that arena. Wow! And as I'm babbling on, I've been watching this match the whole time, and holy cow, man. Heather Monroe, woo! She got a big victory. Yeah, your girl Jordan was in this match. This impromptu match that we just threw together. And before we go to our next match, and before I talk more about AEW or whatever we happen to talk about, we'll go ahead now. I actually need to look at something. I need to see. Now, do you see any problems with Impact Wrestling? Yeah. They have a small-ass roster, hardly any fans, and to be honest, I have not watched Impact Wrestling, like, now, probably for, like, a month or two. Like, I've seen highlights, obviously, but it's just hard to keep up with, because I have the Impact Plus app, but I only have it on my phone or my tablet, so I wish I could get it on my TV, but I can't. If I could, I'd be watching it all the time, but, no, I liked Impact when, back in the day. But, I want to see something here. Okay, so I want to see, so just in case anybody's curious who the champions are on the Sirens roster. Yeah, I only see highlights of Impact now. Okay, so this should be updated. yeah, Faith is the world champion. Allison is our intercontinental. Money in the Bank is Cassandra Hart. Hardcore is Emery. Your tag champs are Endless Flight. Okay, so that I knew. But then over here, because I got to put the other titles over here. That's the only way to do this. Yeah, see? So, Matt, look at that. Check it out. Jordan is the Legacy champion. And your girl, Lexi, is the U.S. champion. So, see? 2 of your characters. And actually, it's funny because they're in the same faction, too. Because they're in the Connection faction. So, Jordan and Lexi are in the same faction and both held really some pretty prestigious titles. So just in case anybody didn't know that. Actually, I'm going to show you guys this. I don't think I've showed you guys the updates here. So, obviously, you got the Blackwell Society, the which is Akira and Jennifer Blackwell. The Castle Twins, obviously, Tiffany and Scarlett. The Connection. So, Matt, I don't know if you're still here, but this is the Connection faction that your characters are in. Most of your characters on the Sirens roster. So you've got Lexi and Jordan, who are champions. Nicole Evans, Jessica Almeida, and Rose Martinez. So they are the Connection. I watch Ring of Honor when I can. The only time I'm really able to watch it is when I'm at my uncle's and he records it for me, just like AEW. That's the only time I can actually watch it. But obviously, because of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, I catch up on things. Ring of Honor is one that I'm a little behind on right now. Cool Embers. So this is the team of Julian Meadow, who we saw earlier, and Leanna Biffington. Dizzy and Creed. I need a tag team name for them so bad, but I can't think of one. But I got Dizzy Cannon and Kiari Creed, but I just call them Dizzy and Creed because I don't have a tag team name for them. But I like them, and I want to put them together. Enchanted. So these are the #1 contenders to the women's title. So we got Victoria Pierce, Isabella Royce. I don't know how the hell they're #1 contender right now when they can't even get on the same page. But, yeah. Endless Flight are your champions. Of course, we all know that's Lorena and Angelita Del Muertes. The Fashion Police. I love this tag team. So these are some badasses here. You got Amy Morrison and Lori Luscious. Love their gear. Like I said, we talked about this earlier when Rocco was here about stealing attires. Okay, I legit will say right now, I stole these attires from other characters on Community Creations, but, okay, now before someone says, oh, you stole, okay, yes, I took them, I put them on these characters, I changed a few things, I changed the colors, I took some stuff off, I added some stuff. So technically, I didn't really steal it. I made it the way I thought it should have been made, if that makes sense. Made it my own. That way I can. But I'm honestly going to say I'm not going to take full credit for the look of these characters. There you go. Grave Consequences. Okay, so this is a great faction. We got Lillian Loco and Sinister Demise, the two in the front. And then you've got Marilyn Masca and the leader, Casey Calloway, in the back. The Hart Foundation. I don't know why, I just felt like calling them that. So you got Alexis and Amy. They are the Lockharts. And then you've got Cassandra Hart, which is supposed to be like their cousin. So you got the sisters and the cousin. KO. This is one that I just created the other day. So this is Cody Kane and Kerry Omega. They're known as the KO. Kane and Omega. So I just figured call them KO. La Femme Fatales consists of the #1 contender to the World Championship, Sophia Carter, and then you've got the Marceau sisters, Laura and Angelina. Okay, the Lost Coven. Now this is Zerk. I know he's sick right now. So if anybody's wondering where Zerk has been, Zerk, buddy, I hope you're doing good and get better. He had his last COVID shot the other day, and since then he's been really sick. Hopefully it's not a reaction from the shot, but because I didn't have a reaction from either shot, but some people have, and unfortunately he was one of them. So hopefully he's doing okay and he gets better. But this is his faction, consisting of his characters Celeste and Faith, and then I went ahead and for him, because they're sinister looking, I gave him Lilith Knight, Jessica Leslie, and Brianna Zeno, and I created the Lost Coven for him. The Order. So there you have it. You got Casey Warhawk and Linda Dreamcatcher, The Order. The Parker sisters, Ashley and Roxy. Power Surge, Ashley and her sister Olivia Watts. Rainstorm, I personally made these characters. So this is Ariel Storm on the left and Jasmine Rain on the right. So they're Hall of Famers. Rumble Kittens. Oh my god, this was one of the best factions that me and Zerk came up with. I needed a name for him, and he came up with the Rumble Kittens. I found the Rumble Kitten logo. It's fucking amazing. I'm sorry, I have to drop the F-bomb, but this is one of the most amazing things we come up with. Angela Stafford, Rebecca Andrews, and their leader / manager Casey Taylor. One of my favorite factions. Silver Sphere, of course, is Alicia Silver, and Zerk's other character, Zara Fear. Or Sphere, however you want to say that. Southern Justice, okay, so you got Shayna Lordison, Tiffany Lennings. Suicide Blondes, which eventually might get another character, I'm not sure yet. We got Destiny Rose, Alexia Taylor, and Hudson Envy. Young Roses, you've got Aubrey Young and Tokyo Rose. I'll get to that in just a second, Alpha. Hold on. 2KB. So there's a reason why this is 2KB. There's two of them, and their initials are KB. So you got Cameron Black, Christy Black, 2KB. I don't know why I just came up with that the other day. I was like, you know what? 2KB. I don't know why. That just sounds really cool. And then that's it. So that's, you know, that takes care of all of that. Now, this is not correct, obviously, because it's showing that I don't have any rivalries on any show. And then, see, it's only showing these as my 3 past. It's because every time we do a show, I have to update all this stuff. Yeah, like, see, like, none of this is correct. Like, I don't, you know, because we always change the card, so none of this is correct. But, out of curiosity, though, championship news, historical stats. I just want to see if I've surpassed. Nope, none of them. Okay. I was just curious about some stuff. So see, so our next episode of Sirens is right here. It's Pick Your Poison. So see, I gotta get the match card done for that, and so I'll get that done. But that's for that. All right. All right, let's get back into some matches. I've already killed an hour and a half just BSing and playing some stuff. Alright, let's do an 8-man. Yeah, let's do an 8-man ladder match. An 8-woman ladder match. We'll do that. And then as we're getting this set up, we'll talk about, whoopsie. When it comes to AEW, okay, there's one team I'm so disappointed in, and that is Dark Order. And I'm such a huge fan of them, but they're not being... Exactly. That's why, okay, if you haven't noticed, I have seen some clips of this. Anna Jay and Ty Conti now are pretty much like the leaders now, and they're kind of keeping the Dark Order in line. And I think a lot of that is because eventually the rumor is that Bray Wyatt's supposed to show up and take over the Dark Order and pay homage to Luke Harper or Brody Lee. That's what I've heard. Whether or not that's true, don't quote me on it, but if that is what happens with the Dark Order, I think that'll be awesome. So, I don't know. All I can hope and say is I pray that that's what happens, but we all know that, you know, they can do whatever they want. Screw it. I guess we'll put Allison in a match. Why not? On a ringer. Marion McCarthy? Okay, yeah, I haven't used Mary in a while. Valerie Scott, no. Oh, the newcomer. So Athena Hayes, she's had 2 matches so far on Sirens, and she's been kicking ass. This is the Olympic gold medalist, Athena Hayes. I agree. They definitely need that fresh kick to be badass. I agree. Alexis Lockhart.
But do we want to use the blonde version or my version? Which is, we use the redheaded version that I made. And Aubrey Young. I haven't put her in a match tonight, have I? No. Let's see who else we got here. Alpha, Beta. Ew, let's put Evie Young. I haven't put, wait, what's Evie's other attire? I forgot. Oh, I haven't seen this one. Forgot about this attire. Alright, so we're going to try this. So, from left to right, ladder match, we got Alexis Lockhart, Mary McCarthy, Allison Anasaki, who is the Intercontinental Women's Champion, Dizzy Cannon, Ruby Skyler, Tiana Ringer, the newcomer Athena Hayes, and former hardcore champion Evie Young. A lot of great talent here. Let's see what happens. 8-woman ladder match. And then if you guys want to see anything else after this, let me know. If we do a rumble tonight, I'll probably just be a 20-woman rumble. Just, I mean, unless you guys want to do a 30, it's up to you. But, like I say, we're just hanging out, doing some stuff tonight, you know, and shooting the stuff on wrestling. Yeah, this is gonna be cool. I think this match is gonna be great. It's very chaotic too, because there's a lot of great talent in this match. And the problem I have is when you get multi-person matches, it takes forever to get through the entrances, but kind of makes it worth it once the match starts, right? Oh, see, I haven't used this attire on Dizzy Cannon yet. I didn't know this attire came with the t-shirt. I'm gonna start using this attire. I like it. The DC attire. Okay. See, the other attire she has doesn't have a t-shirt. I kind of like this one. Makes her look more legit. I really need to start looking through some of the attires that I have for some of these characters when I download them. I'm like, oh, okay. I liked her name for some reason. Just Dizzy Cannon. I was like, I don't know where they come up with that, but I was like, Dizzy Cannon. Alright, it works. DC Dizzy Cannon. Alright. A lot of people ask me, where do you come up with these names? I don't come up with some of these names. I really don't. Y'all out there in community creations come up with some of the weirdest names, but for some reason they work. You know? Like the big guy that we debuted the other night on STANDOUT. The Hawk Hana. Like, he was the big sumo wrestler guy. I'm like, where'd you come up with the name Hawk Hana? I'm gonna sound like I'm hawking a loogie, but you know what? Hey, it works. And, you know, it is what it is. Ruby Skyler. Now, I made this attire for her. This is an alternate attire that I made. I added the tattoo on the arm and and the new trunks and stuff. So this is my take on Ruby Skyler. I made her more badass and just kind of gave her like an attitude. Because before she was great, like she was bubbly, personality, whatever. But like I gave her more of a legit feel, like star status. Alpha, ew. Well, it does. Hakana. Sounds like I'm hawking a loogie. Hakana. That's just what it sounds like when I try to say it. That's, why do you think I had to change the name of TCW Triumph to Standout? Because every time I would say Triumph really fast, it sounded like I was calling it a tramp, like Lady and the Tramp. I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing. Has it really been that long since I've seen Allison Anasaki without the title? I legit forgot she came out with the fireworks. She's been Intercontinental Champion for so long that I forgot that she actually had fireworks during her entrance. Oh my goodness. She's actually, I believe she is the second longest reigning Intercontinental Champion right now. Because the first reigning Intercontinental Champion that I can remember was, not Britt Baker. Maybe it was Britt Baker. Not like DMD Britt Baker, but like Yeah, I had my own Brittany Baker. That's what it was. So I have my own Brittany Baker. I think it's on Excel or Standout. But she held the title for, well, in my records, it was 143 days. And Allison's held it 97 days right now. So, like, that's insane. Could be a little longer than that. My numbers could be wrong, but it is what it is. Now, this girl, it's funny. This is Tiana Ringer, but she reminds me of Frankie Monet or John Morrison's wife. Like, she legit looks like her, too, which is funny. I was like, okay, I see what somebody did. They made a Tiana Ringer, and they tried to make her look like Frankie Monet. But that's okay. Like, the hair, everything, like, it's weird. I'm like, hey, it's like Frankie Monet 2.0. See? That's what I'm saying. It's weird. I'm like, okay, I see where you went with that. Not bad, though. Like I said, she is from Hollywood, California, so... Yeah, she does look good, though. She's won, like, a couple of matches on impromptu in the past, but, like, on stream, though, she hasn't been doing that well. And I don't know. She might be able to turn it around here eventually, though. Oh, God, I'm trying to remember whose music this is. Oh, yeah, okay. So see, I haven't used Mary McCarthy in a while. She's usually in hardcore matches, but I haven't put her in any matches except for impromptu in a while. But she's a legit badass too, Mary McCarthy. She kind of gives me like ODB vibes, except without the crazy hair. She does the pinky up thing like Allison K or Sienna. That's kind of cool. I didn't even notice that. Kind of not a bad entrance. This is actually pretty cool. This should be one to definitely watch. Who knows? Maybe she'll get a moment that she needs, and maybe she'll start being used on Sirens again. I haven't used her in a while, and I feel bad, but there's some characters I haven't been able to put them in storylines yet, and she's one of them. So I haven't. I'm like, oops. But I still like the character regardless. I got to give her some more on-screen time. But here's somebody, like I said, has only had 2 matches on Siren so far. Brand new Athena Hayes. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. Well, that's what I said she is. I just like the fact that she was African American. She had these really cool killer abs, the trunks. Like, she looked badass. So when I saw this on Community Creations and her attire said the American Dream, I'm like, all right, let's call her the American Dream Athena Hayes, and she's a former Olympic gold medalist. That's kind of where I went with it. She's like a female Kurt Angle. So there we go. That was the concept behind that, and it works. Right, I am too. Like, when I saw that outfit, I was like, you know what? This could actually work for her. I'm just checking some stuff. And then this one I personally created myself. So this is Alexis Lockhart. She had a brother, Kevin Lockhart, back when we were on 18, but me and poor CSWA owner, James Sargent, we couldn't find the original Kevin Lockhart on CC. We tried to create one a couple of times, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. But Alexis is something that I came up with. I said, you know what? Let's give him a sister. So I came up with this chick, Alexis, and then I found an Amy Lockhart on CC, and I made her the other sister. So I was like, oh, that's cool. But so the Lockhart family, I thought it was kind of cool. But Amy is a former 2-time women's world champion. And she's pretty cool. I actually like that character a lot. I like a lot of characters though, like, that's the thing. And that's why I probably have so many characters on all these rosters that I have, because I can't just be like, oh, I just want to use this character. Oh, I just want to use this. I can be that way to an extent, yes, but there's so many great talent out there that, excuse me, I want them all. But know that I can only have 100 on each profile, so it's like, oh man, it sucks. So here comes the former hardcore champion. This is Evie Young. What I really like about her character is, like, it's just mysterious looking. The mask kind of throws you off. The tattoos, the body armor, like, you almost kind of don't know what you're getting yourself into against her. She's definitely different. And it's like, is she Japanese? Is she Chinese? Like, you don't know. You don't even know what's under that mask. Like, you just don't. Until she, like, actually wrestles, I do believe. Like, you just kind of don't know what you're getting yourself into. She's very crazy. Almost like a Nikki Cross kind of, back in the day kind of concept, really. But this is one I found on CC a while back, yo, and was actually really impressed. I'm not even going to try to call this match. I'm just going to enjoy it. And then if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, like, by all means, let's do it. After this match, though, let's see, what's yeah, we'll probably do 1, maybe 2 matches after this, depending on how long this one takes. And we'll call it a night. And then our little podcast / impromptu matches, kind of chill and relax kind of thing will be over tonight. Yeah, I know this sounds stupid when I say this, but if you sit back and think of the bigger picture when I say this, you'll have to agree. The internet is killing mainstream wrestling to an extent, because it really is. There's no Undertaker. Honestly, was the last superstar that we had that actually lived by the kayfabe rule. Up until, a couple years ago, okay? He wasn't on Twitter, wasn't on Facebook, wasn't on Instagram, anything like that. But, so he was very mysterious. You didn't know anything about him. Okay, yes, we knew he was married to Michelle McCool. He has daughters. He lives in Houston or wherever he lives, blah, 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 blah. Okay? We know that. But anything beyond that, we had no idea. He never did interviews, he never did anything like that until late last year. So the fact that kayfabe, in my opinion, is dead, it sucks. Because this new generation of fans aren't going to understand that. Why does Hulk Hogan act that way, Dad, or Uncle, or whatever? Well, back then, we had a little thing called kayfabe. Well, what's that? And then you have to try to explain what kayfabe is. It means that when even outside of wrestling, they act the way they do on TV. When they're around other people or fans. And when they're at home, they can be whoever they want to be. Now another one that actually stays in kayfabe and actually surprises me is Rey Mysterio. Unless he's with his family, he always wears a mask. Whether it's a signing thing, whether it's certain pictures on Instagram or Twitter. Like, you hardly ever see him in a picture nowadays with his family where his mask is off. His mask is always on. And when people come to his house, which I guess people have done recently, and try to ask for autographs and stuff, he won't let him see his face. He has to wear that mask. You know, it's just... that kind of stuff is a lost thing in wrestling, and it really sucks. And I blame it on the internet. I blame it on social media. I really do. But, that's one thing I see wrong. Another thing I see wrong is, to be honest, yeah, we've had this women's evolution, and women's wrestling has, you know, become a forefront and a big thing. But when was, you know, they kind of took a back seat when they entered the all-women's pay-per-view. It really, I mean, it was good, but it could have been better. Evolution could have been a lot better than it was perceived. And to be honest, I honestly think they have enough women, even with the NXT roster, to do an all-women's show. If Ring of Honor is thinking about doing an all-women's show, then why the hell can't AEW or WWE? Oh, ain't nobody gonna watch an all-women's show. Ooh. But do they understand how much money they actually made off of that Evolution pay-per-view? And how many brand new female fans they got from just that one all-women show? They don't look at the bigger picture. They just look at it from the money and viewership standpoint. You know, I don't know. But I agree with y'all. I blame the fans. I blame us, the fans. We have gotten to the point that we have to know every little detail about a wrestler's life, to the point where some people take it a little bit too fucking far. I'm sorry that I'm cussing, but it's true. It's like the dude that was stalking Sonya Deville to the point where he broke into her house and tried to kidnap her and do stuff with her, and he was wanting to do it to Mandy too. Like, it's sicko freaking fans like that piss me off, because don't get me wrong, I love the hell out of these girls, Mandy Rose and Sonya and all that. Do I have an obsession with them? No. Well, I mean, okay, kinda, but I'm not to the point where, like, you know, that's all I think about. No, like, I'm not trying to call them on Instagram or Twitter, or I don't text them all the time, and I don't send them love letters, and, you know, like, I'm not trying to find their house and stalk them, and, you know, and I want to, you know, all this and that. Like, don't get me wrong. I've met a lot of them in person. I've given them hugs. I've, you know, whatever, shook their hand, said how cool they were, whatever. But I kept it professional. Like, I kept it, you know, hey, you're awesome, you're cool, thanks for being in wrestling, you know, I hope you do good, blah, blah. I'm not up there going, oh my god, look at their butt, look at their, oh my... Dude, like, come on. Like, I have more respect for the female performers than people think I do, okay? Like, I'm sorry, but I do. But there are people out there that just can't handle that, and I get that, but those are the kind of fans that, like, should not be allowed to come to an event. Like, I'm sorry. Just, I don't know, it's just weird. And to me, that kind of ruins women's wrestling in a way, because you've got all these fans that they're watching it just because they're not watching it for the performance. They're watching it for the eye candy factor. And that's why I do shows like this. That's why that was one of the concepts of why I created Devolution, or what is now you're watching now is Sirens. in the first place is because I wanted to get rid of that perception of they have to dress a certain way or act a certain way or be slutty or whatever to get people to watch. Okay? Don't get me wrong, some of the girls I have on my shows do kind of look that way, but they don't have to be that way to be a star. If WWE and AEW can think of that in the same picture, in the same light, so to speak, I think women's wrestling would be okay. But the way that they're going at it now, yes, they're putting on great matches, but they're still, in my eyes, 90% of the girls are still not getting the time on TV that they deserve. Okay, for instance, okay, this pisses me off more than anything, and I'm still bitter about this. September 11th, the night before September 11th, last Friday, okay? So a week ago tomorrow, okay? You have a sold-out Madison Square Garden. You have Zelina Vega, who could fight, ready to do a match, ready to team up with Carmella to take on Liv Morgan and Toni Storm in an epic tag team match, right? Not only get her on TV, but to do it in remembrance of her father who died 9/11. What better place to do that than in New York City at Madison Square Garden? And what do? You cut the match out completely. She's all dressed up, Liv's all dressed, Carmella, Toni, they're all ready to go out and compete. Right after the Edge and freaking Rollins match, Vince goes, "Oh, we ain't got time to put you on the show, ladies. We'll do it another time. That legit pissed me off. We didn't need that ending BS with Finn Balor and Roman Reigns and them talking for 20 minutes or whatever. Okay? I get you wanted the Demon to show up. If that's the case, why the didn't you have him show up at the beginning of the show when it was Lesnar and Roman in the middle of the ring bitching back and forth for 20 minutes? Why? I'm sorry. That made me mad. You know, that was one reason Zelina came back. She goes, I wanted to compete on the day before September 11th at Madison Square Garden for my dad. Like, that was one reason. That, and she wanted to prove that she could be a champion. She has not been given that opportunity like she should have. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan could be a great singles competitor. You killed the Riot Squad. You killed her gimmick like twice. And now you're still killing her gimmick. I still don't understand what the hell Liv Morgan's gimmick is technically supposed to be. Except for watch me live. Okay, I'm watching you live, but here's the problem. You're not doing anything that's making me go, oh crap, that's cool. Like, it sucks because I love Liv Morgan. I do. The stuff that she did in NXT was a hell of a lot better than anything she's done on the main roster recently. And I'm sorry, but it's true. If she would come out there on NXT with the 201 and she's representing New Jersey with the ball caps and the, you know, the jeans and the really cool stuff and the blue tongue and all that, like, that was awesome. And then in the Riot Squad, again, that was awesome. But they killed the Riot Squad when Sarah got pregnant, and then they split up Liv and Ruby, tried bringing them back together. That almost worked, but you didn't give them the tag titles, so you fucked up there again. And then you fire Ruby, and she's doing better in AEW than she did in WWE, and she's only had 2 matches. 1 or 2 matches. So it's like, really? Come on. Carmella. I don't understand Carmella's character at all. She went from being fabulous and F-A-B-U-L-O-U-S and all that, which was really cool. And then she went to Mella is Money. I loved the Mella is Money character. That was cool. Now, and then the whole, like, that thing was cool. Like, she had, like, her own butler, and she was still doing the Mella is Money type of thing or whatever. That was cool, too. And now what do you got her doing? You got her saying she's the most beautiful woman in all of WWE. Okay, That's kind of the concept I thought they were trying to do with Mandy Rose in the beginning. As the Golden Goddess. But, nope, they screwed that up too. They don't know what to do with the women talent. They don't. Naomi, they killed the glow gimmick, to be honest. I never understood the whole glow-in-the-dark gimmick. It didn't make sense to me, and it still doesn't. Charlotte Flair as the queen. Okay, if she's really a queen, why isn't she wearing a crown? You know? Oh, wow! Alright. So my girl Alexis Lockhart wins. Alright, alright. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. She kind of stole that victory, but still, I'll take it. Hell yeah, man. That was a great match. A lot of great names in there. That Athena Hayes, man. Like, look at that. Some of the that Athena can do, like, oh my god. And Mary McCarthy right here. Look at this. Bam! Power bomb. All around great match. A lot of great talent here. I'm very impressed with all 8 of these women here. But there's the winner. Alright, so let's see what time it is. Yeah, we got time for like one more match. Why not? So Alpha, obviously you're the only one here. What do you want to see, bro? What do you think? How do you think we should end this show tonight? Oh, I didn't realize that every time you switch it, it goes back to like somebody. Look at half these people aren't even in the game anymore. Rusev, Adam Cole. Fatal. You want to see another Fatal 4-Way match? All right, we could do that, I guess. Or do you want to see a Rumble? I say that because we always end it with a Rumble usually. No, man, if that's cool, we could do that. Or do you want another 8-man? Nah, 2K20 won't be small. If they're smart, they will use all these new NXT and NXT UK talents. And obviously, they're gonna have to bring like a crap ton of legends. But no, the only thing that's gonna save them is they literally need to have every member of NXT, NXT UK, Raw, SmackDown, and the legends. That's the only thing that's going to save them, is they have to scan everybody. And I think it's BS that because of the release superstars going to AEW and stuff that they're not going to be in the game. I'm like, well, that's not my fault now, is it? I mean, I get it if they're not under contract, yeah, but you know, like, see, that's why they didn't put the game out now, is because they'd have to put it out with Daniel Bryan. They'd have to put it out with, you know, all these other Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, the Iconics. Like, God, there's so many names. All right, so we're gonna edit these. So I'm gonna. All right, so we're gonna take this up. Yeah, I think they do still own some of the rights to the gimmicks, like the Iconics. Like, they own the rights to the Iconics. That's why now they have to be called the Inspiration. Which, okay. Alright, so custom. Alright, so let's put some girls we have not seen tonight. So let's put Ashley, Aubrey, Ashley Diamond, Callie Cassidy. Yeah, see, there's Brittany Baker. So there we go. She's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Chai Watanabe. Sandra Hart. Yeah, we'll put Celeste in there. Why not? Haley Townsend. Gloria Dallas. Jessica Almeida. Jessica Wright. Cameron, Casey, Crystal, Christy, Lori, Liv, Mary Tyler, Marilyn Masca, Nikita, Ray Jordans, Rebecca Quinn, Rosaria, let's see who else we got, Tanya Young, Taryn Jackson, Vivian Valentine. Zara Blood is a new one that I have not debuted yet, but there's a reason why she has not debuted yet. Technically, she's supposed to be a part in a rivalry, but because it's impromptu, it's free game. You're all going to get used. And let's put a Kara Blackwell in there. Why not? Alright, so that's a lot of names right there, folks. This is going to be good. Alright, and then... start the match. Yep, this is how this should work, right? Alright, hopefully this works, because see, I don't want to actually play the match, so hopefully this will work. I finally googled a way to on YouTube on how to like set it up to where I don't actually have to make it look like I'm playing the match. So again, Alpha, James, all you guys are popping in tonight. I really do appreciate you guys staying here tonight and listening to me kind of rant, and I don't want to say I've been bitching, and I don't want to say rant and rave because that's actually owned by a podcast that I watch that Brandon Martin owns. Let's just say I went on an effort. I'm gonna talk about it open thing, you know, like that's just me. I went on let's just call it an all out. I went all out, and I'm letting you guys know exactly my opinion on everything that I can think of that's happening with wrestling currently. So alright, let's see who is entrant number 1. I have no clue, so let's see. See, when I set up Rumbles, I don't like putting people in at certain numbers. Like, I want to be surprised. Yeah, I agree. I think they should keep a lot of the moves and stuff because, you know, those people that did those moves, they don't own the rights to the moves. Technically, I mean... think about it, everybody's moves were stolen from somebody else at some point or another. Oh, it was the chick that I had chosen originally. So see, even if I would have played, I would have been in at number 1. So see, I'm glad I didn't play it. So there's Erica Ehrman. Or Arman. Erica Arman? I think it's Ehrman. I have a hard time saying her last name, but... she's a badass. Comes out with like a gun holstered around her leg and the big biker vest, like. Okay, I guess I can't really say it's a gun holster, even though it's technically what that is supposed to be, but it's almost like a purse thing. It's kind of interesting. She's like a female Moxley. It's kind of weird. Yeah, they'll probably just change the name of the move and the moveset, yeah. Just kind of like they'll have certain entrances in the game like they normally do, but they'll change the name of it. I don't know. Like Adam Cole's entrance will probably be called like Panama Superstar or something. Like, I could just see that being like some Adam Cole, you know. I don't know. They've had some weird ones in the past. Right, I am. I'm so lucky I'm not playing because I would purposely have to get myself thrown out. Because I do okay at Rumbles, but not if I'm number one. The last time I won a game at number one, I think it was like 2K17, maybe 18. Like, I have a hard time playing these Rumbles. I'm not that good like I used to do. Oh, is this Akira Blackwell? I think it is. Yep. I have never seen her singles entrance because I've always had her as a tag team superstar. Wow. So that's right, she's the Predator, Akira Blackwell. Forgot because she has like the snake skin outfit. Yeah, she competes in those snakeskin high heels. Oh, good lord. Yeah, I really need to go in and kind of change some stuff on her, to be honest. But, I don't like when they compete in those kind of boots. Like, it doesn't look legit to me. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Cause it's like, okay, first off, how is she going to be able to, like, run in those, you know? I have a new follower. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you. So, alright. So, first two in the Rumble, Erica Airman in the jeans. Still has the, purse thing on her, which I need to... See, I need to go through some of these superstars, too, and kind of fix a few of their attires. I've done that for Standout and a little bit on Excel, but I haven't really done it for Sirens yet, and I need to. I need to go through and fix a few things. Here's one of our newcomers that I signed recently last week, or this week. This is Chai Watanabe. Or Watanabe. Watanabe. Anyway, Chai Watanabe is what I call her. Sucky spot to end her though at number 3, but see how she does. Three, two, one. Jessica Almeida. Yeah, I agree. Some of the words that they banned, I completely understand. You know, like murder, kill, you know, strangle, stuff like that. But like, when you legit can't call them wrestlers or wrestling, to me that's kind of dumb because I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, you're legit called WWE World Wrestling Entertainment. So, if I can't call them wrestlers, I have to call them entertainers. What the hell does the second W stand for? It don't make sense. Now, this technically would be the debut on Impromptu with Zara Blood, but she has not debuted in an actual match on Sirens yet. So I'm going to go a little bit out of kayfabe here and let you know exactly what's going on with Zara Blood. So technically what's going to happen is she used to be a part of the Lost Coven. I'm just going to say that. And she's going to come in and beat up her sisters, which is this one right here, Celeste Blood Fiend. And she's going to try to take out the women's champion Faith as well. She's like the legit Lost sister, and she's going to come in and try to take out the Lost Coven and all its members, piece by piece. That's what Zara is supposed to do, but I have not debuted her for a reason. She's not technically supposed to be debuting yet. But like I said, this is impromptu, so she's allowed to be here. So. And there goes Akira. Akira Blackwell is out. Here comes Rebecca Quinn. She might be skinny, she might be tiny, but man, she can go. Rebecca Quinn she's a fighter. Uh-oh. Celeste could be out before she even gets a chance to really do much. So Erica Ehrman entered at number 1. She's still in here. That is surprising. Here comes the longest reigning Intercontinental Women's Champion, Brittany Baker. See, that's how they got away with it. Instead of calling her Britt Baker, she's Brittany Baker. I see what they did there. That's like me. Instead of Adam Cole, I created a character called Cole Adams. I just reversed the name. And it ended up becoming a really cool character that, like, James has used, I've used, and a bunch of other people. Erica Ehrman entered number 1. She finally got eliminated. This is going to be one hell of a match here. Oh, Zara Blood gets tossed out by her own sister. Ouch. Here comes Ashley Diamond. We have Chelsea Diamond over on Excel. This is her younger sister, Ashley Diamond. So see, there's a reason why some of these characters are on here and not on other shows. Because I think, wow, Chai Watanabe's out. I didn't want every family member on every show. So some people I purposely split up, and I just won't bring them to the other rosters. 1, because I can't, and 2, just I don't have any more room anyway. Here comes Rosaria. She's like the Sirens version of Zelina Vega. It's kind of cute. She's got that size and like Latina fire. I'm like, Rosaria! She even has Andrade's music, so I was like, alright, she's gonna be like my female Zelina Vega. I like it. I guess it doesn't matter if she's female, but yeah. She's the Sirens version of Zelina. There you go. So a lot of these superstars I find it's because they remind me of actual wrestlers. So that's kind of where I draw the concept. I'm like, oh, I want this person because it reminds me of, you know, so-and-so or whatever. Alright, here's one I haven't seen in a while. Here comes Vivian Valentine. I used to joke and say that she was the granddaughter of Greg the Hammer Valentine. It works, right? I gave her a character. I gave her a persona. Alright, here comes number 12. Ooh. The big Samoan bulldozer, Nikita. So when I found her, I thought of Umaga. Alright, Ashley Diamond is out. Here comes Nikita. And actually, I gotta give a big shout out, give credit to my buddy Matt Parker. He actually found Nikita before I did. And I really liked it when he had the AWF EFED. And I was like, alright man, I gotta get me Nikita on my show. Like, something about that character was just really cool. So I brought the big hard-hitting Samoan bulldozer Nikita to my channel. There went Brittany Baker, and here comes Tanya Young. Tanya Young with the ghetto booty. Oh. That was like the first thing that everybody noticed when I introduced that character. They're like, hey, she's got that ghetto body. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's not why I downloaded it, though. I downloaded it because I'm like, okay, it looks cool, but I'm like, I could see this being a star. And she's gonna get there eventually. It's gonna take some time, I'm sure. Nothing happens overnight all the time. But Tanya Young's not a bad star. Oh, Nikita almost tossed out by Celeste. That would be kind of like an upset, wouldn't it? Because, like, Celeste, you wouldn't think has the strength to get her over, but Okay. And there went Vivian Valentine. And Granddaddy Greg will not be happy about that one. And uh-oh, Celeste is out. Celeste is out. Wow. Tossed out by Rebecca Quinn. Hey, what's up, CGL legit? Boss in the house. What's up, man? Not much. We're just BS and having some fun here tonight. Talking all things wrestling. And there went Rosaria. Here comes Gloria Dallas. And I need to fix that character too because she's not supposed to be competing with the ball cap. But like I say, there's certain things I have to go back and I need to kind of adjust a little bit. But it's all good. But again, what's up, man? I'm glad you guys are all here tonight. This will be our official last match of impromptu here tonight. So, not bad. A little over 2.5 hours stream. Had some great matches. We talked a lot about my opinions on like AEW, NXT 2K, or NXT 2K, NXT 2.0, and you know, and CAW wrestling and EFEDs and stuff like that. And so it's been kind of a cool stream. I mean, if you guys are here just to watch the wrestling, that's cool. But my main thing is like, if you guys really want to, yes, watch the wrestling by all means to get familiarized with the characters. But definitely watch my streams and listen to what I'm talking about, you know. You can treat it like a podcast in a way when I do impromptu, because we talk about so many different things in wrestling that you could sit here for that 2.5 hours and you kind of get an idea of how I feel when it comes to, you know, stuff. And then, you know, you can draw your own opinion of things, you know. You don't actually necessarily have to agree with me, but, you know. And that's basically what tonight is. That's why we do the impromptu. It's like e-fetting mixed with podcast, basically. Right? You watch the stream for the wrestling and the podcast. See, that's what I like about doing impromptu. But when I do a legit show, you guys know that I try to focus more on the commentary on the show. So, obviously I'll answer questions or whatever, but most of the time when I do a regular show, like episodic show, I try to stay in character, Spyke tonic, and I try to stay true to the commentary. Now, here's one of the characters I really fell in love with recently, and that is Liv Erico. Like, the attire kind of throws you off because she kind of looks like a dominatrix, but like, something about that character is just like, I can see it being a big star. And so I've been trying to push her the best I can, you know, putting her in great matches. And, you know, like I say, I'm not playing favorites necessarily, but I'm trying to push stars that we don't see every episode. And we got the big hard-hitting Cameron Black. We saw her the other night on Impromptu. She, man, she really killed it too. Or not on Impromptu, when we did our tribute show to Jen Savage, or Jen Powell, a couple of nights ago. Again, may she rest in peace as well. Alright, Tanya Young is out, courtesy of the Canadian Punisher, Maria McCarthy, or Mary. No, that's right, this is Mary's other attire. I can't keep up. Ah, Nikita's out. Dang it. Here comes Aubrey Young, though. And I know Ashley Parker's in there, too. Ashley just got bulldozed by Aubrey. Yeah, see, I try not to sugarcoat it when I say stuff about wrestling. Like, I legit, you know, people are like, oh, he's going to talk about CM Punk, or he's going to talk about this and that. Oh, you know, he's gonna try to layer it up so it sounds good. No. Like, I legit told you exactly how I feel about the CM Punk thing, how I feel about you know, Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole, and, you know, and all this stuff happening in wrestling. Like, I don't sugarcoat it, you know, and I didn't sugarcoat it when I talked about the community creations and how people treat that and how people, you know, honestly, they treat it like it's, they whine a lot. Let's just put it that way. But again, like I said, if you put something up on creations and you don't take it down, that's on you. And if you put something up there and somebody else downloads it, well, sorry, like, that's what community creations is. I don't care if people use my stuff. You shouldn't care if people use your stuff. That's just how it is. And that's how it should be. So there comes Casey Taylor. Now she is the leader and the manager of the Rumble Kittens. Excuse me. So we got Casey Taylor in here going after Cameron Black. Oh, I just noticed we actually have a full tag team. Well, we had a full tag team. Cameron Black's eliminated, but her partner, Christy Black, is still in there. So we got 2KB was together at one time, not now. Christy Black. Oh, there goes Christy as well. Wow. Casey Taylor took out both Christy and Cameron. Took out both members of 2KB. Exactly. I told you exactly what's wrong with WWE and AEW. Like, I didn't hold back. I literally, I stated facts, I stated opinions, and I just told the truth of how it is, like how things need to change. So, all right, we got the perfect 10, Jessica Wright, and there goes Aubrey Young. Exactly, and then that's the thing is, the sad part is everything I said is all 100% completely true, in a way. I mean, it needs a fresh start, and hopefully we get something like that. All right, here comes Mrs. Opportunity in the Bank briefcase holder for the Siren Show. This is Cassandra Hart. So she's in the ring with the white hair, one of the 3 members of the Hart Foundation. I know, man, they're dropping like crazy. So it's like really hard to pick a favorite because like as soon as they come in, somebody else is going out. Like nobody's really stayed in this thing for a while, really. That's what I like about this show. And Haley Townsend. I can never say her last name. Townsend. Haley Townsend. Okay. Haley's one that she's been out of action for a while too on the main show. I got a lot of them that have been on the injury list for a while, so you know I'm trying to bring them back one by one, but sometimes that happens. And then obviously we got some fresh faces that have came into the show recently, so trying to get them their debuts as well. Yeah, they are definitely dropping like flies, like because they just keep getting thrown out. It's like, it's crazy. Callie Cassidy. This character is cool because her name is kind of like Colin Cassidy or Big Cass, but then she's kind of got like the early days of Carmella look to her. So I don't know, just something about the character intrigued me. I was like, I gotta have this. So Callie Cassidy. Trying to eliminate Casey Taylor over there. I think the longest one in the match right now is the one in the red, the Ashley Parker. Alright, here comes Taryn Jackson, former Intercontinental Champion. Has been eliminated. The leader of the Rumble Kittens is gone. I agree with the fans. This is awesome. This has been a pretty awesome stream so far now. And there goes Callie. Wow. Callie Cassidy is out. So what the hell is Cassandra Hart's trying to do in the ring? Going toe to toe with the perfect 10. Here comes Lori Luscious, the stepsister to Ashley and Riley over on Triumph. So this is their stepsister Lori. And there goes the perfect 10. And Jessica Wright is eliminated. This double team there by Lori and Cassandra. Haley Townsend, ooh, running bulldog. One thing I really liked about 2K19 is I was so excited when I found out that we could finally do women's rumbles. Like, that was the one thing on 2K19 I was like, oh yes, finally. And then in 20 it was like mixed tag team, but the problem is 20 sucks. And so yeah, so hopefully in 22 we get the mixed tag teams back, and it actually works. Alright, here goes Marilyn Masca, the human Ouija board. I say that because she literally has it not just tattooed on her gear, but on her stomach. She literally has a Ouija board tattooed to her chest, and then she's got the planchetta on the back as a back tattoo. I thought that was really cool. A little creepy, but very cool. And then, you know, she's got that skull mask and stuff. She is a part of my faction known as Grave Consequences. Alright. Here comes the legendary Hall of Famer, Crystal Frost. Crystal Frost, man, she had a good spot here at 29. Oh my god! Well, Crystal lasted a good, what, 5 seconds? Damn! Was not expecting that. And Ashley Parker's gone as well. Damn, alright. Now I don't know who to choose. Crystal pulled a Santino. Came in and lost. And there went Cassandra Hart. Wow. And Ray Jordan. Ray Jordan comes in at number 30. And there goes Marilyn Masca. Wow. This is going to be an interesting. Okay, so our final four. In the brown is Haley Townsend, and she's getting beat up by Ray Jordan. You've got Taryn Jackson in the purple with the short hair, and then you've got, she's beaten up by Lori Luscious. So you got Lori, Taryn, Haley, and Ray. Would not have thought of any of these ones, honestly, being in the final four, but... And there goes Haley, so Haley's gone. Taryn, I don't know if you really want to be up there, girl, like, I'm sorry, but... Taryn Jackson! Oh my god. That was cool. Just wiped the floor, pretty much, with Lori there. That was cool. Ray Jordan's gonna pick her apart, though. Shoulder tackles. What I love watching is, when I do impromptu like this, I love looking at all the different ways that you guys out there in community creations and stuff, and my friends and whatnot, have come up with some of the most badass wrestling attires. Like, I don't know how you guys do it, because I struggle sometimes, but oh my goodness, these are great. So down one turn, we are down to Lori Luscious and Ray Jordan. Right, that was a beautiful coast to coast. You wouldn't think somebody that small would actually be able to make it from pillar to post, but she did. I think Ray has the advantage here, entering at number 30. I think she's going to take it, to be honest. I think Ray's got this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Lori might take this one. Ooh, that was a nasty shot. Oh! Rip Jordan knee strike. Ow. Alright, Lori, come on. This is your moment. Ray Jordan is out. You gotta toss her out. The only way you're gonna win this thing. Oh, don't get suckered. I thought she was gonna get suckered into this. Oh no, Lori. Dude, she didn't even toss her out before she said she was the winner. Oh my goodness, this game. That cracks me up. Wow, there you have it. Lori Luscious, of all people, wins the 30-woman Rumble tonight. Here on Impromptu. That's crazy. Oh man, the crowd letting her know what they think of her too. Boo! But hey, you know that's the name of the game. You never know who's gonna win. All right, well, folks, it has been a great almost 3 hours. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Obviously, King Alpha, James Sargent, Chaos Reaper was here, Matt Parker was here, and CGLS, Legit Boss, thank you, man, for showing up. And everybody else I know that popped in. If I didn't mention your name, I'm sorry, but I appreciate you guys as well. As always, keep thrilling and chilling. Be kind to yourself and each other, guys. Make sure you guys check out the whole stream because this was like a podcast slash impromptu slash just going off about professional wrestling. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you guys got a little insight of how I feel about things and how maybe a lot of us feel and we're just afraid to say it. Well, I wasn't afraid to say it. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Was not afraid to express my opinion here tonight. And it might cost me some subs. It might gain me some subs. Either way is fine. But I have to be honest and have to be true, and that's just how it is, folks. But again, I'm Brandon Pickett. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Thriller 23 Wayo Productions tonight for this unique stream of Impromptu here with the Sirens roster. There will be more Sirens, Freedom, Excel, and Standout coming soon for Thriller Championship Wrestling, plus a whole buttload of other video games. So make sure you are subscribed right now. Hit that big red button. Turn on that notification bell so every time I go live, you ain't missing nothing. And until next time, guys, peace out. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And make sure to leave a comment, by the way. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night. Love you all. I'm out. I shall obviously go on the record again next time. Hell yeah, man. You know me. I'm going to do it, too. And it's coming. Trust me. Alright, guys. Talk to y'all later.